I think only landscape photographers can relate to that excitement when you wake up at like 3 AM. Well, maybe you're not that excited to wake up at 3 AM, but you make a cup of coffee, sit in the car, it's pitch dark, you flick on Google Maps and you see your destination. Could be an hour, could be 2 hours. Throw on your favourite podcast, and more than likely it's only you on the road. If you're in Australia, that's not the case. Generally roads are busy from like 4 AM onwards, but back home in Ireland generally you're the only one on the road, and it's that excitement, that anticipation. If you're like me, you'll have checked every weather app or website and you're just hoping that the conditions are similar to what is predicted. And yeah, I think it's something only landscape photographers can relate to. That's a very cool thing. Where I am right now is a place called the Lost World Valley, and I'd heard it mentioned once or twice, but it still seems to be relatively quiet and not unknown, but it's not a haven for landscape photographers yet. But I flicked on Google Earth and I'd done my usual slider with the sun to see what the landscape looked like, and I was blown away. It really reminds me of home. But if there was somewhere like this in Ireland, you can guarantee it will be thronged every weekend with photographers. Now it's a weekday, it's a Friday morning, and yeah, it's such a beautiful place. Got some valleys with some mist, got some mountains covered in rainforest. Conditions wise, I won't lie, I was hoping for more fog. There's a bit of fog and mist in the valley below me, but other than that there's nothing else. There's nothing happening with the sky. The sky is perfectly clear, which is a shame because I was actually going to come here for astrophotography last night and it was given forecast for lots of high cloud, so I said I'll wait till the morning for sunrise, but that's okay. This is going to be a shot where I think when the sun comes up it's going to hit this landscape, that's when I'm going to take my shot. I might throw up the drone. Sometimes when the sun comes up it generates more fog and mist, so that's something that could happen as well. But the scene I have in front of me is the farm road. Now I can't go any further because it's a farm and there's a sign about biosecurity issues and phoning in office before visiting, so I'm not going to trespass. I'm just going to stay here at the fence and shoot in. I've purposely stayed elevated so that I can shoot down into the valley and it gives me a better perspective on what I'm shooting, you know. So yeah, it's going to be a case of just wait for the light, really. If there was a nice sky, I would be shooting back behind me to where the mist and the fog is in the valley, but as of now there isn't, and there won't be because the sun is set to rise. So I have a bit of cloud here in front of me, and I will be hoping that when the sun comes up over those mountains, which hopefully won't be too long after the sunrise, that this might make for a nice image. Again, first time visiting this area, so I was debating whether to stay down low in the valley with the fog or whether to come up here, because at least when you're up high and you're elevated you have scope to, you know, shoot down into the valley. There's some clouds starting to light up behind me now. Very minimal, but it's something. It's a shame there isn't more. We still have 10 minutes till sunrise, so you never know. There's a lovely scene here behind me with the road snaking through the valley. You've got the fog, but the sky is just so bland behind it. I'm going to shoot this with I'm going to shoot this cloud lighting up. No, I won't lie, this image for me is nothing special, but I wanted to include it because it gives you a good visual representation of the scene that I was looking at in front of me. According to photo pills, the sun isn't going to come up over those mountains until like 7:20, which is a good 15 minutes away. And I don't think there's much else I can shoot here while I'm waiting. So I'm thinking, should I go down into the valley where the fog is maybe and capture some of that and then come back up? It's only like a 2-minute drive. I think that might not be a bad idea. Yeah. This place is absolutely stunning. Really is. I'm just walking in this road. I parked the car way back there, and some mist in the valley, some fog. So I'm just taking my time, see if I can find any decent compositions or see there's anything pop out. There's going to be no rushed photography this morning. It's very much slow. Get to know the area, get to know the landscape. The more I walk into the fog, the more it disappears, obviously, as is common. So yeah, there's some light starting to hit the mountain peaks now. No, sorry, not doing that. No time. So I'm headed back to the first spot this morning, and I think I got a shot down in the valley there. It was okay. Nice tree, bit of mountain catching the light behind, bit of light catching the mountain behind, but it wasn't anything that I got overly excited about. So yeah, gonna run back here now to the original spot. The light is starting to hit the peaks, and see what we can get. There's too much of a contrast between light and dark, so my foreground here is getting lit up, the background's getting lit up, but the midground is not getting lit up, and I just need a tiny bit of light to hit that tree. I think as the sun comes up, we're going to get that bit of light on the tree. So now I'm just starting to get the light hitting the tree in my foreground, and it's going to be a very, I can visualize the image in my head, like really contrasty dark shadows, just emphasizing the light, almost abstract, because you've just got a bit of light in the mountains here to the right. Now I have light kissing that tree, and you can just see the road leading in through the shot, and then the road disappears because it goes into the shadow of the landscape. And that looks pretty cool. Just the tree and the area around it is catching some light, and the road is disappearing off into shadow, and everything else is falling away into shadow, and it's creating this beautiful contrast and depth, because when you have light and shadow in a photograph, then you have depth. It creates that 3D effect, because we have to remember that photographs are 2D, you know. That is fantastic. That has made my morning. Well, I can safely say this is probably, sorry if I'm framing this up, I've no screen so I can't see my face, but I can safely say this is probably one of the most stunning places I've been in Australia, and also in general, to be honest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just try and shoot some images with the long lens. I'm going to try and record some video. I'd love to start capturing some wildlife. I know I've only a 100-400, and to be honest, I'm not overly impressed with the 100-400 so far. It doesn't seem that sharp on the long end, but I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to put the vlogging camera away. I'm going to just see what I can see, and I'm going to pick out some images with the long lens. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll show you a couple of images I've captured. Mind yourselves, all the best. you.